Of course, Nvidia has high hopes. Let's start there. It dropped as much as 7% immediately upon the release of the earnings. I'm currently examining a stock that might have dropped as low as $4 because you're attempting to predict, perhaps, a $5 price in 2027. I'm grateful, Ben. Ben, you're correct. Simply become acquainted. How much should it actually sell for? Can you honestly believe that this stock should be valued at 20 times its earnings? No, I mean, this is a truly outstanding business that merits a premium multiple. Although the revenue is declining, David, have you ever visited a foundry? I have visited one when they were just starting out and they were throwing away a lot of stuff. Furthermore, I believe that the yields were quite low, even though Jensen may not have made a mistake. That is, like the first time, like when you really, on the conference call, he is discussing it. In particular, let's listen to what he had to say regarding the increase in manufacture of the new Blackwell chips. With faster computing and generative AI, data centers all over the world are working feverishly to modernize the entire computing stack. Demand for Hopper is still high, and Blackwell is highly anticipated. He can't manufacture them quickly enough, so I suppose that wasn't really the problem. He is unable to. People were upset about the impact on gross margins. However, I also believe that when you have Nvidia watch parties, when you have teams that you can discuss, example, in the Premier League, I don't know, they're in weird British cities, yes. What happens is that, there you have it, a watch party. The good news is that they are watching USCNBC, which makes me pleased. Correct? Absolutely not, so you've got it. That, of course, is the right conclusion. Thank you. However, I do believe that, along with the National NVIDIA Day and the way the country kind of stalled at one time, no, we need to return to the facts, which are that Jensen is a guy and NVIDIA is a business. Additionally, they did have some product concerns, which I consider to be simply the fact that, although we didn't produce as many as we would have liked, demand is obviously still high. Naturally, we have discussed the ongoing capital expenditure plans of all of the world's biggest corporations. They make up 45% of the company, with data center revenues totaling $26.3 billion. To put that in context once more, you're discussing something that is 2.5 times what it was not so long ago. What's that whisper about? I was about to ask a well-known semi-executive, and his final response was, "Who makes these whispers?" And I mentioned that short sellers give it to their sell-side colleagues, making the figure too high and requiring $2 billion, which they are unable to do, causing the stock to plummet. Let's return to multiplicity then. However, according to Stacy Razin, the most renowned analyst in this field, the report's one flaw was the end-of-year gross margin prediction, which does appear to be declining somewhat as Blackwell starts its ramp and the H200 mix rises. He does, however, state that he believes the overall gross margin should remain extremely good through the fourth quarter. By which I mean the gross margins. Simply consider it a business. Take a step back and examine this company. 75% of the margin. When Intel was at its peak, they would aim for 60%. During the time when everyone realized that Intel was the best manufacturer in the world, they would reach 63%. And that is being blown away by these men. Simply said, they're blowing it away if it gets. What would you like to give it in light of that? A multiple of 25? So that's what I'm asking you. Okay. At least in the short term, revenue growth appears to be unabated. We may discuss in more detail when capital expenditures begin to decline, or, to be honest, when generative AI is absorbing all of the data available and you no longer require chips. Maybe that will be years from now. However, revenue growth is robust at the moment, and gross margins are at levels we have rarely, if ever, seen. What is a suitable multiple for this business then? All right, so let's assume that they will do that for a full year. Assume that they generate an EPS of $5 for the 26 calendar year. Give it a multiple of 30. Okay, why not? You have a stock that is currently down $30 from where it will be, so why not give it a multiple of 30? But now that we know that Jensen Huang is ultimately flawed, it has become a little more show me. We didn't believe that he was a failure. He is now. Therefore, it's possible that some individuals believe we can't offer it that many. That isn't a major call in my opinion. Order. Multiply a $5 figure by 30. What on earth? Why not? Yes, but I believe that when we learned that there were yield issues, we were all a little taken aback, David. We had the impression that it was turning. To put it another way, you understand it and succeed because rapid computing is a component of it, followed by generative AI. He also stressed the importance of rapid computing. He underlined that $1 trillion in current must be replaced. They anticipate shipping several billion dollars in Blackwell revenue in the fourth quarter. Yes, but they won't get that because they were considering tens of billions. However, the second half of the fiscal year is when you're still driving significant demand. What are the ramifications for industry? They were excellent. The car was excellent. There were other companies that were heavily targeted during the Mark Benioff call besides Meta, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. Soon we'll tackle it. Yes, all right, let's get started. Do we no longer use Nvidia? Or would you like to comment about the watch party? Squawk on the street, Jim. With Nvidia, we're never done, thank you. But for the next 45 seconds, we might not bring it up. That's fair, all right. All right, Nvidia's stock is down less than 2%, by the way. I just wanted to let you know that Nvidia is fine. Nvidia is perfect except for their inability to get the devices to work properly. Correct. Additionally, the dispute between water-cooled and air-cooled systems was a complete distraction. He's telling you the ROI and how amazing it is. So there was a debate about real use cases, completely sideshow. He provided you with all the use cases. Well, cure cancer? I asked David after I voiced the words. No, but here's what it will do, he said. It will be able to swiftly search databases to identify the genes that share characteristics, such as melanoma, and then reverse that information. Generative artificial intelligence holds promise, and I believe it will significantly accelerate medication research and discovery. He refers to that as TechBio. Additionally, Jensen told me, it's still not. This has not been embraced by the large pharmaceutical corporations. Jim, it's still early, correct? That's what I'm saying anyway. You still have a number of years ahead of you, and everyone still believes that it was an NFL draft and you. It was the Giants, and they made a bad draft choice. No, that is untrue. No, I'm referring to the Giants. Not true about AI, that is. The Giants. Yes, a few years ago, they acquired a talented offensive tackle. He's not a wide receiver, though, dude. Yes, the neighbor will be good this year. However, I do believe that last night's theory that AI will start to serve right now is true, David. Salesforce, Meta, and Mark Zuckerberg's GPT, Meta AI, come next, of course. He's frantically attempting to overtake the others. Does he catch up, though? Because he possesses a wealth of social media data. What do you see? Good, I see. With the Dow and S&P hanging near new highs, August was undoubtedly a tumultuous month for the Nasdaq, S&P, and Dow, with gains being made. As we prepare for a jobs report and potential Fed rate reduction, what will September hold for stocks? Tom Lee, a CNBC contributor and head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors, is now joining us. It's good to have you here, Tom. I should add that there won't be any notable net gains in attack. It will only have benefits if it maintains its good session today. It's good to see you, Tom. No talk for a long time. First and foremost, how do you feel about the way the market has interpreted Nvidia's financial results? Naturally, yesterday morning's pre-market saw the initial decline. It was operating normally until yesterday's session ended, at which point it did close down more significantly. Nvidia is one of those stocks that, in my opinion, has become part of stock market legend. Nearly everyone has a job. Furthermore, I don't believe that the earnings and results altered anyone's opinion of AI or its crucial position in both Nvidia's and worldwide productivity. However, I believe that the sell-off indicates that a lot of positive news was already priced in. That, I believe, is the reason the stock dropped. The overall market remained stable. That, in my opinion, was a somewhat favorable result. Additionally, I believe it demonstrates that there is space for a great deal of rotation and that small caps are among the groups that stand to gain from it. Let's talk about that rotation, Tom, and whether you're starting to worry about valuations for the entire market, not just the Nvidias of this world or whether there's still a long way to go if you're looking at the valuations of some of those sectors that haven't done so well in recent months and years. Even that the equity markets have been growing for a number of years, our clients are undoubtedly questioning us about valuations. However, I believe that the concept of a rotation is based on a few factors. One is that small